Xbox just had one of their best E3 events we've ever seen, bar none. And with that comes the realization that they've silenced every single critic that attacked or questioned their commitment to gaming. Let's get into why Xbox kicked off this generation the right way. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, make sure to hit that small bell icon. It helps the channel out a lot. Alright, so enough of that. Let's get into what I truly believe is the best Xbox E3 event that I've ever seen. Now, I know that sounds hyperbolic and people might want to call me a little bit of a fanboy, but I could care less, because what we saw on that Xbox showcase had to be the most confident and prepared Xbox we've ever seen. And it's not just from the show and the executives, it's from the games they showed off and the amount of content Xbox is going to have in the next 6 months or even the next year on their platform. We saw everything on that show, from exclusives, surprises, games, new partnerships, and of course Todd Howard walking out on stage like a savage he is. I mean, we even got a troll at the end about an Xbox mini fridge, which looks awesome and now I want one. Yo Xbox, I just want to throw my money at you for one of those. So stop by, let me get a mini fridge and you'll make me a happy gamer. But honestly, everything about this event knocked it out of the park. Even the small kiddie games were awesome. I'm really going to be playing Party Animal game. I don't care what anyone says, that game looked hilarious to me. But let's get serious for a second. This is all stemming from the 3-year investment Xbox has made into the Xbox platform and their first-party studios. Because what most people have talked about when it comes to Xbox is the fact they've bought so many new studios and developers. They've invested more into gaming than any publisher or gaming company in the world. They acquired ZeniMax for one of the biggest gaming purchases in history at $7.5 billion. That's on top of the Xbox game studios they had, which was 15 studios. All of this came to fruition when this show started and when it ended, which is something that this article talks about right here. Microsoft's buying spree of studios finally looks like it's paying off, as the company announced a flurry of 30 games at its E3 showcase with Bethesda. 27 of those titles will be included on Xbox Game Pass, which is the centerpiece of the company's strategy to capture this generation of gamers. By building a large library of titles and giving players near ubiquitous access to it, Microsoft creates a compelling value. That offer looks even better as it showed off exclusive projects available to its platform. So this is something I couldn't agree more with, because it's true, Xbox did show what they've been building for over 3 years now. And the best part about this is that this showcase really did focus on the fact that Xbox and Bethesda are one and the same. No Bethesda games will not be on PS5, and they won't be on other competing platforms, especially platforms that don't have Xbox Game Pass. That's something that I really love to hear from Xbox, is the fact that they were very clean and clear about their messaging when it comes to these massive games like Starfield, and of course one of my personal favorites that was at the show, Redfall. These games will be Xbox exclusives, no more vague messages and no more people trying to act like they're insiders saying they'll come to the PlayStation platform. That's something that we saw on a continued basis when it comes to the Bethesda games that were announced on Xbox's stage. Sure, games like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online are legacy titles, so those titles will still come to the PlayStation platform. This was something that Phil Spencer talked about before and something that Pete Hines and Todd Howard also mentioned. Yet for everything else that Bethesda is making, you can obviously see that they'll be making games for Xbox and Xbox only, which if you've been paying attention since 2016, these games will also come to PC, because Xbox is PC and PC is Xbox. They've completely connected the two for the most part, and that's a message we continue to see on the stage floor. After Starfield, we saw that happening continuously, Xbox exclusive being promoted for the Xbox platform. That to me was very intentional and was something Xbox needed to do so they can shut the critics up about exclusivity and saying Xbox has no games. Which is the next topic I want to mention. This showcase completely, and I mean completely, shut down the narrative that Xbox has no games. If you see anyone saying that from now on, they obviously don't play games and aren't real gamers. For me personally, that narrative never held any water and was pure toxic, fanatical rhetoric. Because for years, I've been playing a lot of Xbox games and enjoying most of them. And for the last year especially, there's been so many games on Game Pass and Xbox exclusives that it's been a little overwhelming when it comes to playing games. But after today and after seeing all these amazing games launching on the Xbox platform, it's truly astounding how many projects, games, studios, developers, and promise Xbox has. I say that with full confidence because this E3 did show that Xbox came to show one thing, and that's that they will continually provide us with games to play on our console or our PC. No more downtimes, no more slow periods in the year. This is going to continue for a very long time. And it's going to kick this next generation off the right way, which is with high quality games that take advantage of the Xbox Series X console. Which brings me to my next topic, which is something that Sony obviously lied about. That's right, you guessed it, which is exclusive next generation titles. If people noticed, a lot of the games that were announced at this E3 were Xbox Series X only games. Now, of course, Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5 were games that were going to be cross-generational, but if you look at Redfall or Avalanche Studios Contraband and all the other later announced games like Fable, Avowed, State of Decay 3, and Starfield, you can easily see that those games will be Xbox Series X exclusive games. That to me is what surprised me the most, because the narrative for so long last year was that Sony was going to give people the most true next generation experiences. Yet their biggest games like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man Miles Morales are all going to be on the PS4 platform. All the while, Xbox so far has announced so many Series X only games that can only be run on the next generation hardware. And the games they started years ago in the Xbox One generation are going to be cross-generational just like they planned. But from the looks of everything, next year is going to be the year that they start to move away from the last generation hardware. Even Starfield, one of the biggest games coming next year, says Xbox Series X and S and PC. That's all at the end of the show. That's what they showed when they were done with the trailer. It doesn't say Xbox One, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a cross-generational game. Xbox has always said that they'll support the Xbox One generation for the first 1 or 2 years. And seeing that 2022 is that 2-year mark, it's obvious that we'll start to see those next-generation games coming next year. That to me is very telling and transparent when it comes to Xbox. They never lied and they always told gamers exactly what they were going to happen. All the while, Sony, their competitor, really didn't tell gamers anything and basically tried to act like a lot of their games can only be done on the next generation hardware, when in reality, the company that was truly pushing the hardware to its limits is going to be Xbox. Much like Todd Howard said in the show about Starfield. He said they finally have the hardware to make Starfield a game they've been wanting to make for years, but just didn't have the hardware to do so. But now with the Series X backing them, they can do that. He said that on the E3 showcase just now when talking about Starfield, which is releasing next year at the end of the 2022 year. Obviously, this shows the value of the next generation hardware, and speaking of value, let's move on to my next topic, which is Game Pass. All right. I know I talk about Game Pass a lot on here, but how could I not? It's such a great value to all gamers who choose to join it. And to be honest, at this point, what true gamer wouldn't want to join Xbox Game Pass? The value is insane. It's gotten to the point that everyone, and I mean everyone, should be subscribed to Game Pass. They had a graph on the Xbox Game Pass and their release dates and all the games they showed. As you can see right here, there's going to be multiple games a month on Game Pass for us to play. And you throw in the 2022 titles, and it's obvious that Xbox is going to continue to pump multiple games into the servers because it's turning into a cash cow for them. I mean, we had 30 games shown on the showcase, and 27 of them are going to be on Xbox Game Pass day and date. That's an insane amount of value right there, and a lot of those games are releasing into the service as early as next week, and they continue to roll in from July to August all the way to the end of the year. So yeah, Xbox didn't just show games that everyone can play, they showed games that people can play in a very short amount of time. That's the value I saw from this game show. They gave us games right away, and games to hold us off until next year, where they're probably going to have another great show. And all of this with very minimal amount of non-Bethesda Xbox Game Studios games. I mean, even Matt Booty wasn't there at the show. So we have another 12 or even 15 studios that are working on something in the background. So yeah, I think that Xbox truly shut everyone up and really silenced every single critic out there. They showed gameplay, they showed next generation graphics, they showed hype for the future, they showed gamers what they wanted to see, which was games. And that's all we can truly ask for as gamers, especially at E3 events. And I'm excited to see if they have another show later this year, and I can't wait to see what every single studio is working on, because Xbox is starting this next generation out the right way. but let me know what you thought about the gaming show. What rating would you give the show down below? I give it about a 9.5, but let me know in the comment section what you give it. What was your favorite game from the show? What games were missing from the show that you wanted to see? Are you excited for Xbox Game Pass and all its games that are coming till the next year? What other studios are you excited to see? Were you surprised to not see any new studio announcements? Is there going to be studio acquisitions coming soon to Xbox? Did you see the Sea of Thieves goodness that I love to see? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a lot of Chivalry 2. That game is so fun. I was in a party with Dealer Incognito, and they kind of forced me to buy the game at like 1 in the morning. But man, oh man, I'm glad they did, because that game is so much fun. You're lobbing people's heads off. You're just taking them out. The game is ultra gory, violent, and just a lot of fun. We were laughing so hard in that party that I'm loving that game. I really recommend it. And I'm kind of playing Ratchet and Clank, and Chivalry took me away from it. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank. It looks stunning on the PS5. But again, Chivalry and playing with friends is what I'm all about. And next week, or in the next week and a half, I'm gonna be playing that Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, which was again showcased from Xbox and coming to Game Pass later this month. So that's what I'll be playing. I want to know what everyone else is playing. Are you playing Ratchet and Clank? Are you playing Chivalry? Or are you playing something else that I don't know about on your PC or Xbox or PS5? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for, is to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.